So first off, thank you guys for coming, and I'm sure there's a handful of questions, but before we get into that, I would like to just take an opportunity to read some points, and then we'll open it up to the floor, if that's okay, Brian. Good. With respect to the commissioner's decision, and we appreciate where we are right now and the fact that we have final resolution to this matter. The commissioner's findings are fully consistent with the government's investigation and our own investigation's conclusions. And this incident is isolated to the conduct of one rogue employee who was acting on his own volition for his own personal reasons. Mr. Correa's behavior in accessing the Houston Astros email and ground control database was completely inappropriate, unlawful, and should not in any way be tolerated. And as a result of the internal investigation, he was immediately terminated. The conduct is contrary to everything the Cardinal organization is about. No one in the Cardinal organization directed or authorized him to access the Astros database or knew he was viewing Astros confidential and proprietary information. We reacted immediately when we learned of these allegations, fully cooperated with the government's investigation, conducted our own internal investigation, and terminated the responsible individual as soon as the facts became clear. So at this time, I'll open it up to questions.
Mo, in the statement that you all issued, you mentioned that lessons were learned, and as a result, there have been changes made. Could you give us some examples of what has changed in the wake of this that maybe we might not see just out in public?
So there's a couple things. One is when you think about having a database that's being managed from an internal perspective, and understanding that our clients, if you will, scouts, are not here at HQ, so they're accessing this externally. We used to have just a one password methodology. Now we use a dual system that you first need to access it via your phone, which then gives you a passcode and then allows you to move forward.
So, well, you said he acted alone for his own benefit, and yet you're being punished 2 draft picks and a fairly large amount of money. How do you gel those two?
Well, I certainly think that the organization, even though we didn't do anything wrong, we understand that the commissioner had to make a decision, and that ruling obviously affects us as we currently stand. And I think his message is this can't happen again, and therefore the penalty did have to be stiff.
That's just in terms of the draft picks lost, but